Mav's Coffee Clarity with Denise is brought to you in partnership with Drive Media and Consulting and their premier sponsors. Subscribe on your favorite streaming platforms and share. If you just found us, welcome. And if you're a regular, welcome back. Denise DiGregoli has spent her life in the creative industries as an entrepreneur, helping people transform their visions into thriving businesses, working with individuals and teams to find their purpose and live their life vibrantly. On her pod, Denise delivers business intel and life hacks with wit and wisdom in short shots like a strong espresso with a solid sense of humor. Enjoy this episode of Mav's Coffee Clarity, and here's Mav.
Welcome, my friends. You are on another edition of Mav's Coffee Clarity. It's a show designed to move you forward in work, life, and self-care. And come on, who doesn't need that nowadays? I sit down with mavericks in their own right, small business owners, entrepreneurs, creatives, and doers that have seen their life grow, transform, and share their silver linings after their fiascos. It's business intel and life hacks. One cup, one conversation at a time with a little wit, wisdom, and clarity. And we also have our special monthly segment called Ask Mav and Fox. Now, you know, it's a fairly new segment, and we try to hit it off on the weekends when we're up here in the Berkshires. The nice thing about Ask Mav and Fox is it came out of listeners like you and viewers, if you're watching us on YouTube today. And people have been mesmerized, and so are we, how we've managed to stay in business together and work together and stay married and I would say madly in love. Can I say madly in love, Fox? Madly in love for, 26 plus years.
Madly in love.
Madly in love. That was a slow response, my friend.
I was waiting for you to introduce me.
I'm not going to introduce you just
yet.
I'm still talking.
You're just talking
I'm
away.
still talking. Anyways, buckle up. It's a short segment of Ask Mav and Fox. I'm going to turn the mic over to my business partner and beloved Troy J. Amuso of Troy Fine Art Services.
Business
Take it away,
partner, just for clarification, business partner and husband. It's okay to say I'm your husband.
Are you my husband? How long have you been doing that?
We haven't only been in love just on the fly as business partners. We have been.
You see that Virgo-ness coming through. It's clocking me.
Happily married for 26 years.
Now, how can that be? Consider I'm only 29. What is happening?
You got married very young.
I did. 4. Okay.
Very young.
All right. Ask Mav and Fox is a special segment. That's developed out of really people asking, how is it that you guys pull it off? And we don't really know. But we have gotten listener questions, and we're going to share one with you today. Let it rip, my friend.
So today's question coming in from Anna this week is kind of a cool question. It is, we have a rustic summer home in Maine that is our escape.
Wow.
The past few years, we've not spent much time there due to business expanding and taking on more clients. It's a good problem to have.
That is
Spring and summer are our busiest times. Last summer, we only vacationed twice for 2 long weekends as we were only able to go up twice. So we only got 2 weekends away. How do you balance work and play in your businesses? Do you schedule time for vacation or downtime where you simply escape no matter what? If you could share your thoughts, I would greatly appreciate it. And so would my husband.
Wow.
Okay.
You read the question, but
that's a very relevant question.
Yeah, no, it is. Relevant. You read the question, and we've had many transitions in and out of this exact thing. I'm going to let you start first because I tend to talk more than you.
Yeah.
You said, yeah, I talk more than you?
No. I didn't mean that. I just meant regarding the question. It is a challenge, but we've been in business together with Troy Fine Art Services and separately with Denise with her businesses, the podcast,
Drive Media.
Drive Media. Yeah. And so we're always really busy, and let's put it this way. It really takes a little bit of effort to schedule in your time your downtime and your time to get away from it, because you can very easily just take it with you everywhere. And even all these years later, it's still sometimes you're lugging your computer. You need to do something. I'm lugging my computer, or I'm bringing a painting with me or something crazy.
Now we're lugging our new baby. We just got a new puppy. We got a lot of lugging.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your answer though? You just acknowledged we have the same problem.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it is a real thing. So, the short answer is yes. I don't think we have it down to a perfect science, but we definitely put an effort into scheduling time to get away from our business, and we do a bunch of different things, both together and apart. So we are fortunate to have a place to get away to, but much like Anna's situation, they have a place to get away to too, but they don't get there that often. So I think you have to, yes, you do have to schedule it. You have to allow yourself the downtime, because I think as business owners, entrepreneurs, however you want to classify it, if you're working for yourself, it's very easy to feel like you can't take time off to just relax. And one of the key principles to running a successful business, running a successful life, staying in good health is that old saying, you have to work hard and play hard. You got to remember the play hard part of it. So you have to make it happen.
I remember when I was writing the Daily Drive back in 2013, I had a mind map. And at that point, we had no vacations as self-employed people. Remember, we were scraping to get a long weekend. And at that point in 2013, we had been married 14 years, because we got married in 99. And I thought to myself, when will this end? And we had a child. So there was a lot going on, right? The needs of your business. We had aging parents, the needs of your child. And I remember writing the mind map that went in that book with the idea that we would have 3 long weekends that year. And then I remember writing in the mind map, like, how would we do it? How would we staff up? Would we close down? Who would take care of so-and-so and this and that, all the different pieces and parts. So it's definitely a plan. We had to have a plan. I think you also have to have an intention and a wish and a dream. And then we had to get together on it, right? We both had to be on the same page. Like,
right.
How are we funding this? Back then, all your money went right back into your business and your child. And, we really started off with modest means together in business. So it wasn't like we were going to go to the Ritz, right? We were looking for a long weekend.
Absolutely.
So I would say to Anna, listen, you got to have a plan and you got to get your partner on the same page. I think we have to pause and turn here because I hear the dog scribbling and scrabbling behind Troy.
Dog has found his way into something.
My God, the dog is...
he's just tearing up a piece of paper.
Oh, just let him do it. Whatever.
Just let him find it. I just want to back up a little bit on that, and that's true. You have to have a plan. So one way to, I think, start that, is that... so Denise and I set our goals every New Year's.
We do. We write them down.
We sit down and we write a list. What do we want to accomplish this year, next year, the following year, and so on. We go out 5 years. And every New Year's, we pull out our list and we look at, what are the things that we accomplished and what do we need to maybe move on to.
We have done this
year.
since 1999.
Yeah, we've done it forever. I think everything that's of any significance that we have done together, we have done by writing it down initially on a list called our goals list. So
that's true.
And one of those things for us, as Denise was just saying, is one of the things for us was, and it could be anything, by the way. It could be like we need to, paint the living room, or we need to get a new car, or we need to get new tires. And, back in those days, it could be something like, that simple.
Yeah, we didn't even know where the money was coming from.
I need to get tires for the car. It's getting a little crazy, So, I mean, and it can be from that to buying a new house or buying a new investment property.
In 99, it was have a baby. We wrote that on the list. Because we were both older.
Yeah.
We didn't even know if a baby was in the stars.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
We're going to show you that one day.
It could be, I remember putting down, go to the gym 3 days a week. Like things that we weren't getting done that we really wanted to accomplish. So one of those things is vacation. Like we want to go on a vacation. Sometimes it might be like something more extravagant, like we'd love to go to Europe or we'd love to go to an island, or it could just be simply like spend, a couple of days a week at the beach. And we live in a town where there is a beach, so we don't even have to go that far. But we wouldn't get there. So,
we live in a town where there's a beach.
So, so we'd literally have to write it down and say, let's spend some more time, and then that would turn into like, let's go to Florida, to Miami or something, or let's go,
And it was on the list to go to Italy for the longest time. The longest time was to go to Italy.
Wrote that list.
And then
for
Ava
a long
ended up
time.
studying there, and that's actually how we checked that off the box.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, Anna, we had on the list to have a second location, home, workspace in the Berkshires. And it was on there since 1999, remember? And
that's the longest, probably the biggest goal that rode the longest duration from list to list every year, to list to list to list.
And I took it off the list Thanksgiving of 2021. And Troy was like, okay, fine. Why? And I was like, because Ava's almost out of college. What's the point? We'll just live at the beach for the rest of our lives. And then bingo, bango. All right, let's get back on the track to your question about how to do it and how to take time. I think you got to get on the same page with your partner and say what's important to you. This is important to me. And have a conversation because, I don't know how many years you've been married. You didn't say it in the question, but and yet, because I don't like but, I like yet. Yet, if you get on the same page and you really talk about what's important to you, you will put that energy in that direction. I was talking, if you listen to Mav's Short Shot from last week, I was talking about energy management is important as time management, right? You got to have here's the crazy dog back with, okay, the dog is in the house and it's just.
That piece of paper is much smaller.
That's actually the piece of paper that I had my art influence on because that's something I'm going to paint. And now he's chewing it.
You probably didn't like the design.
Okay, I don't know if he's going to have a stomach ache from chewing paper. All right, we might have to pick him up.
He's not eating it. He just tears it up.
Oh, he just tears it up.
We have a. We'll show you at the end of the segment here. We have a 15-week-old Havanese
named
puppy
Milo.
Named Milo.
Milo Bear. Hi, Milo Bear. Oh, he's the sweetest thing, and he's smart. But he's never been on the podcast before, so this is new. He's going to be part of the premiere. He's going to be part of the weekly, monthly segment. Ask Mav and the Fox and Little Bear.
Yeah, at some point, I'm sure he'll sit in the chair next to one of us and be chill. But
right now, he's just ripping up my design work. Hey, that's the old my dog ate my homework. All right, did we answer the question? Can I see the question?
Well, the only thing I would add is
take your vacation.
She's
okay?
also saying
no one ever once in their life, and this is looking back 30 years. So yes, you have to pay your bills. You have to be responsible, accountable. I always say to my daughter, look, if you owe somebody money, you can't take a vacation. You got to pay off your bills, and you have to be responsible, yes, to yourself, but to the people that indebted you. And not to get too far off the track, the other day she was kind of complaining. I was like, Louise Hay used to say, if you have a bill, consider it a blessing, because that means someone trusted you enough to give you a bill. You're indebted to them. So, okay, you probably won't clear the decks of all your bills, but be responsible. And we had to plan for it. Remember, we had to save money for the vacation.
Oh yeah, of course, you have to plan for it.
You gotta have some salt in the game. That's where everyone has to get together.
I think also though on the business side too is just remember everybody. Maybe it's not everybody, but for the most part,
that was a really for the global statement. Everybody,
for the most part, people understand if you say, "Hey, I'm going to be away for a week. We're going on vacation." I find when I say that to my clients, people are like, "Oh, good, that's great. Glad you guys are going to take a break." So people usually understand.
You could be nutty like me and still pick up your phone on vacation and not get in trouble.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother segment.
That's another question.
Allowing yourself to not answer the phone is something that, people definitely need to work on nowadays.
I see the dog traveling all over the studio unattended.
Yeah, he's really floating around. So I just say, first of all, put the word out to your clients. Hey, we're going to be closed from this date to this date for vacation. And I know I work with we both do work with different companies and people who we work as suppliers and so on.
I got to reread the question.
That will put out an email and just say, hey, from this date to this date, we're going to be closed. And so, so when you're on the other end of it, you just prepare for, they're not going to be available that week. So put it out to your clients. We're going to be away. That also helps you stay committed to actually going away or taking the time off at the very least. You've put it out to your clients. They expect that you're not going to be working that week. That kind of holds you to it. And then just do it. Just like the old Nike saying is, just do it. It's a good thing. You need to take a break and you need to allow for it. So if you can plan for it, if you can save up for it, so you have that side of it covered, put it out to your clients that you're going to be gone or you're going to be closed that week, and then just take the time. And
I remember when my sister was in timeshare in Florida, remember? And we didn't have a timeshare back then. And one of the adages they would say when they were selling timeshares was, this will be a committed week. Like many people that are self-employed never take a vacation. I remember we bought a timeshare in the Berkshires so that we could be available that one week a month at the end of the year when Ava had her ski camp, right? And it was really...
kind of forced you to do it.
It forced you. So I'm just kind of rereading your question. How do you balance work and play? We have another episode on Mav's Coffee Clarity talking about balance is a constant state of motion. So whatever you give your attention to, Troy's point, we do these things at New Year's Eve where we write down our goals. We give it our intention and our attention, and then we sort of let go of the outcome. We kind of know the path we're working on, and then we say, okay, what are we doing now? And you have to kind of save for it and think about it, but balance is really a moving target. You got to just be in the game together with whomever you are married to, in love with, partnering with. And yes, you got to schedule it. Absolutely. Schedule it and make it a non-negotiable, just like getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth. Would you agree, Fox?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
excuse me for 1 second.
Excuse you. Where are you going? Oh, no. I think the puppy has gotten into puppy trouble.
Puppy's got a leaf in his mouth.
Oh, boy.
What he's eating.
Well,
but I'm going to also
we're gonna,
go over.
Yeah, he's going to be on the segment now. This is O'Meal Bear.
So there is paper all over the floor.
Oh, he chewed up everything. Okay. Well, they say that these little dogs are chewers because, boy, they've got the chompers coming in. He's so adorable. Isn't he adorable?
So
I hope you look at us on
Here's
YouTube.
Milo, everybody. If you're seeing the actual video of this podcast, here is Milo. Say hello to everybody.
Don't lick the mic. Thank you. So we encourage everybody to write in your questions. We love answering them. Working together has really been a work in progress. It was not always unicorn and butterflies, as we want to say.
It's always been unicorn and butterflies with you, sweetie. I mean, come on, seriously.
And there's a reason why Troy has no hair. No. Seriously, it's definitely a work in progress with anything. Anything you want to achieve is some sort of work in progress and some sort of attention. So we love the questions. We do actually love working together. And now as our businesses have kind of grown, we spend a little less time together, but not really. Not really. We're always up.
I don't think so. I mean,
no, we're still in each other's grill.
We seem to be,
but we're independent.
Yeah, I mean, we don't sit in the same room all day every day
and hold hands, and we don't hold hands all day.
Well, not all day, no. No. But we cross paths with each other almost every single day during the workday at one point.
I will say,
a couple of days maybe.
Anna, if you're working with your husband, the cool thing is hopefully he's your best friend, whoever your spouse is, and you don't mind seeing them that often, that you actually want to go on vacation with them. I'd say that's the balance right there. And then you figure it out and keep chipping at it and know that it took someone like us 13 years to get 3 long weeks. And I would have to say the past... I'd say the past 9 years, we've definitely had weeks vacation.
Yeah.
But for the first, it depends on where you start in your business too, and how much you've got going on in it, and where it's growing, and whatever. So have we answered the question, Fox?
I hope so.
Anna,
I think we have.
Vacation.
I hope that's a valuable answer.
And get in partnership with your spouse, lover, husband, whatever, and just get on the same plate. Is that
just
true?
make it happen. Plan it, make it happen. When it really comes down to it, that's what it comes down to. You just have to plan it and make it happen. Work hard, play hard.
Work hard, play hard. I like to say write it down and set the tone in the morning. All right, my friends, that has been your monthly weekend segment of Ask Mav and the Fox, where, yes, balance is a constant state of motion, and we want you to take a vacation like us. So listen to us wherever you find your favorite pods. We're on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Amazon, and of course YouTube. Visit DeniseDiGrigoli.com for more information about Drive Media. And visit Troy Fine Art Services for more information on Troy's Fine Art Restoration.
And hold on. And please send in your questions. And where do they send them?
Send them in on the contact form at DeniseDiGrigoli.com. Peace out, my friends. We got to get ready to go back to work.
See you guys.
Hey, that's a wrap for today, my friends. Thanks for listening, subscribing, and staying connected with me. Head on over to DeniseDiGrigoli.com and learn a little bit more about my creative and strategic consulting services. While you're there, drop your name on the contact page. Sign up for my bi-weekly brew. It's fresh ideas delivered to your inbox a couple times a month for clarity, creativity, and better communication. It's based on my 3 decades as an entrepreneur, helping other people and businesses move forward. It's great business intel and life hacks that you can use for work, life, and self-care. And come on, who doesn't need that nowadays? Have a great rest of your day. Peace out, my friends. Mav has got to get back to work.